When he opened the DNA results, Mr. Collins just sat there, staring. His hands were shaking. The two kids he had raised and loved like his own weren't his. And the woman who caused all of it? Her name was Caroline. Caroline grew up in a small town. Her mother died when she was 15, and her father left soon after. She learned early how to survive alone. She never finished school, never had anyone to guide her. By 21, she was living in the city, working whatever jobs she could find, restaurants, retail, and later, as a dancer in a small nightclub. It wasn't her dream, but it paid for rent and food. That's where she met Travis. He was charming at first. The kind of guy who could talk his way into anything. He'd sit in the corner of the club, watching her, smiling. After a few weeks, he started walking her home. He told her she was too good for that place. He said he loved her. She believed him. But once she moved in with him, things changed fast. Travis didn't work. He'd spend the day sleeping, then get angry when she came home tired. He wanted money from her, not love, not partnership, just cash. Every night before she left for work, he'd say, "Don't come home empty-handed." And most nights, she didn't. But one night, the club was slow. No big tippers. She made almost nothing. When she told Travis, his face changed. $40? He snapped. That's it? What am I supposed to do with that? I'm sorry, she said quietly. It was dead tonight. I'll make more tomorrow. He laughed, a cold, ugly laugh. You're useless. You can't even bring home $100? She started to cry. Travis, please, I'm trying. That made him angrier. You think you're better than me, huh? You think because you work you can talk back? He pushed her bag toward the door and yelled. Get out. You can't even make money for this house, I don't need you here. Caroline begged him to calm down. Please, don't do this. I don't have anywhere to go. He opened the door wide and said, Good. Then you'll learn. She stepped outside, clutching her bag. The door slammed behind her. That's when Mr. Collins found her. He was driving home late from a dinner. He saw her sitting by a gas station, crying. He pulled over and rolled down the window. What happened? He asked softly. Why are you out here this late? She looked up, tears streaking her face. He kicked me out. I have nowhere to go. Mr. Collins wasn't like most men. He didn't ask for anything in return. He took her to a small hotel, booked a room, and left some money on the table. Get some rest, he said. Call me tomorrow, okay? And she did. Mr. Collins helped her get back on her feet. He found her an apartment, gave her money for food, and checked on her almost every day. He was in his late 50s, quiet, kind, successful, but lonely. He said he liked helping people. She made him laugh again. They started spending weekends together, dinners, walks, movies. She'd tell him about her rough past, and he'd just listen. No judgment. After a year, he asked her to marry him. She said yes. Life with Mr. Collins was something Caroline had never known, peaceful. He bought her clothes, treated her gently, told her she didn't need to work again. She finally felt safe. But over time, that safety started to feel like a cage. She missed excitement, the rush of her old life. And she missed Travis. One night, she found herself scrolling through old photos. Then she sent him a message. He replied. At first, he insulted her, said she'd run off for money. She apologized, told him she still thought about him. He said he didn't care. But days later, he called. And just like that, it started again. They met secretly in hotels. Caroline lied to her husband, said she was visiting friends. Months later, she got pregnant. Mr. Collins was overjoyed. He cried when she told him. He said he'd never been a father before, and this was the happiest day of his life. Caroline smiled, but deep down, she knew the truth, the baby wasn't his. 2 years later, she got pregnant again. Same story. Mr. Collins loved those children more than anything. He took them everywhere, bragged about them to his friends, and said they were his greatest gift. Caroline watched him hold them, and every time, guilt twisted inside her, but she never said a word. Then things started to fall apart. Caroline began sneaking money from her husband's accounts. At first, it was small, a few hundred here, a few there. Then thousands. She told Travis she was saving for them to start over. Travis said he loved her. He said he'd take her and the kids away and they'd be a real family. So she kept stealing. But once she gave him the last of it, nearly $20,000, he changed. He met her at a diner, took the cash, and said, "You really left him for me?" She nodded. "Yes. I want to be with you." He laughed bitterly. "You think I want that? You think I want your old man's money? You're pathetic, Caroline." Her heart sank. "What? I did all this for you." He stood up, tossed a few coins on the table for coffee, and said, "You betrayed the only person who ever cared about you. That's who you are." Then he left. She tried calling, texting, nothing. Travis blocked her and disappeared. Not long after, Mr. Collins found out. He noticed the missing money. Then came the messages, photos of Caroline and Travis together. Still, he didn't explode. He sat quietly and ordered DNA tests for both children. When the results came in, he stared at the paper for hours. Neither child was his. That night, he waited for Caroline to come home. She walked in smiling, holding groceries. "Hey, honey, what's wrong?" He handed her the papers. Her hands trembled as she read. "Caroline," he said quietly, "you made me love lies." She tried to speak, but no sound came out. "When I met you," he continued, "you had nothing. I gave you a home, love, a future. And you gave me children that aren't mine. You gave me pain I'll never forget." She dropped to her knees, crying, begging for forgiveness. He didn't yell. He just said, "Pack your things. You can go to the man you chose. But the children stay." She screamed, begged him not to take them, but he stood firm. "You lied to me," he said. "But they didn't. They'll stay where they're loved." Caroline left that night with nothing. Mr. Collins raised the children himself. He never remarried, never told them the truth about their father. To them, he was their father, the only one who'd ever been there. Caroline tried to visit once, months later. She knocked on the door, shaking. Mr. Collins opened it. He looked tired but calm. "Please," she said. "Just let me see them." He looked at her for a long moment and said quietly, "They're happy. Don't ruin that." Then he closed the door. She stood there for a long time, then walked away. Years later, Caroline still works in small clubs. She lives alone in a tiny apartment. She doesn't drink anymore. She barely talks to anyone. Sometimes she drives past the neighborhood where Mr. Collins lives. She parks across the street, watches the house lights through the trees, and whispers, "They're probably asleep by now." People say she does it almost every week. She never knocks. She never calls. She just sits there until she starts crying. Then she drives away. She once told a friend, "He saved me from the street. And I destroyed him. And somehow, he still kept the only part of me that was good, those kids." And Mr. Collins? He's older now. His hair has gone gray. He still takes the kids to the park every Sunday. They call him Dad. They don't know anything different, and maybe that's a good thing. Sometimes he watches them run ahead, laughing, and he smiles, a sad smile, the kind only someone who's lost a lot can wear. He doesn't talk about Caroline anymore. But people say he still keeps one photo of her, the day she first held the baby. Maybe he keeps it to remind himself that even the worst heartbreak can come from love. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you all have a good day, and if you liked the story, please like, share, and subscribe.